Hey, deserving listeners, Love is Blind UK. Let's see what happens.
You alright? In rid of me?
I'm really upset.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't seen the in-between conversations, but we check in with Kat, and she's really upset because he said that someone was attractive. And yeah, I think for some people that would be upsetting, and they would just say that's a mistake. You shouldn't be saying that. There's other ways that other couples are, and he certainly wasn't saying that he was lusting after anyone or he wanted to be with someone. And she did ask, in the same way that Chelsea went over to Jimmy and says like, "Oh, what do you think of AD, right? You know, she's hot, right?" And then Jimmy in his drunkenness says like, "Yeah," and then oh no, he says to her, and then Chelsea turns around to the entire party, "AD, Jimmy wants to do you," or whatever. I can't remember what she said, but it's happening again. You know, insecurities, and it's starting to look like I guess similar to Chelsea. They're not in the same category at all, but similar to Jimmy and Chelsea. Freddie seems to be getting more and more annoyed. You know, in the beginning, I think he was a lot more accommodating, but he seems today to be more reactive, less accommodating, which lends me to believe that he's falling out of love with her, and or he's getting tired of having to bend over backwards. You know, there's nothing abnormal about her reactivity, I think, but I think what's problematic is that she can't find a way through it. She's determined to punish him instead of pulling him aside and talking about it or asking questions like, "Well, when you said that, are you saying that you want to be with someone else?" But again, given her traumas, I think she jumps to conclusions.
I don't think you need to make a big deal out of it.
I'm not, babe. Let's not do it now.
I've been nothing but like 100% supportive of you all day long.
I feel really insecure.
Yeah, I think that's another factor that could be making Freddie weary, which is that I think given his accommodating nature, and they've talked about this before, how he's frequently telling her how beautiful she is all the time, that he's getting a little tired. Like, you work hard, you're working hard, you're in the mode, you're supportive, and you feel these different whys in the road where you could just say nothing, or you could put in the effort and care for someone else's ego. And then you say one thing and they just turn on you and punish you the rest of the night. You're just like, it can be very frustrating.
I don't know what's come over me. You right?
Yeah, good. Yeah,
I feel like I'm just
Okay, that's good. So she's saying, "I'm insecure. I don't know what's come over me." That's a differentiated statement. She's taking responsibility, and she's even asking questions. It's like, I don't know why this is happening right now. It's a great place to start. When I can get a client who is repetitively in that earlier phase of self-awareness and undifferentiation, that first foray into that area, which is often what I just call the question mark area or phase, or whatever, is like, what's going on? I wonder what's going on here. That's when you can start to explore answers. To not have answers is okay, but to not ask the question, then you're just stuck in your own distortions.
Like, generally, I'm not inclined to it.
I know.
But when I'm on a night out, I want reassurance, I need attention. You're a good-looking guy. I think we'll be a bit...
So I think the way that she comes across, at least to the audience, I'm guessing, is that she's unfairly needy for that, or self-centered, narcissistic. It could be that. It's hard for me to know the gauge. Plus, a lot of people, including Ben, have these kinds of insecurities in this context because of the nature of the relationships. So, I can't really tell. And then you hear about her traumas too. But it does kind of look like she is asking too much.
Fine. I don't intentionally flirt, but I think it could come across as flirting. I don't remember our date. How old are you? What did you do?
And then the way it's edited here, the narrative is that she is trying to make Freddie jealous, or she is wanting to be with Sam because Sam looks like her ex, which means that she's attracted to Sam and wants to be with, whatever.
No, I'm 31, product designer from London. Any single friends? No, I'm staying.
I think they reused that one snippet where she presses on his shoulder. I think they used it twice within a short amount of time, which screams manipulation by the editors. And I think they might have missed that.
This was my sentimental bracelet that I gave her.
That's it.
Jesus.
It's a really nice bracelet.
And that was the ring.
Can I have this ring?
You got what, anyway? You got a bigger one on there, no?
That's the ring I wanted.
Do you want to swap?
Mine's a knuckle duster.
Wow.
That's
I don't want to get
really
emotional, but obviously it's a tough pill to swallow.
And then she just flat out asks for the engagement ring. Yeah. So earlier she's like, people think I'm flirting when I'm not. Well, and then making fun of the ring that Freddie got her. I'm kind of gross about this.
Obviously, like, things didn't work out. I think maybe that's...
You're generally hurt by it, aren't you?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
like, I'm here. I'm
No,
here to listen.
Yeah, no, I hear
And,
that.
like...
There's generally... No, the chapter's closed. There's
And
generally...
listen, if you are ever in town...
There's a line between flirting, I guess, and just being desperate. We've left the shores of flirtation. We are now in the sea of desperation.
100%. I live in London, so I'm down the road. You know where I'm at.
I know your vibe.
I love you.
I'll hit you up.
Awesome. Yeah, 100%. You've got to.
Just behave.
I will. I'm being good, like, literally.
Gross. Gross. Literally what Austin Powers says. Oh, behave. I mean, it's like, gross. I mean, just, okay, you want to be friends with but gross.
Hey, I'm walking away with an engagement ring here, so...
Anyone?
Yeah, on the way home.
I actually want his ring, guys.
I think she's got good intentions. But I just want you to be okay. I just want her to be pure for you.
I mean, just imagine if Freddie had done anything close to this. Now, Freddie can't hear what she's saying, thank goodness, actually. But, often that is a question to ask in these scenarios that where there's a complaint. This all began when she was like going to Fred. He looks just like my ex. Oh my God, like spitting him. He looks exactly like my ex. Freddie, this is amazing. And Freddie's like, okay. And then she asks Freddie, what do you think of the women here? And he's like, oh yeah, so-and-so, she's attractive. Oh, and then she starts getting upset. Okay, I don't think that's so strange. But then punishes him for what seemed to be a long period of time. Runs over to said, spitting image of X, and then, and like I said, thank God that Freddie didn't hear. But from the look of it, from the outside, it looked, I guess, kind of flirty, at least physically. If Freddie had heard what she was saying, it would be I mean, like I said, we're no longer on. We're no longer in the land of flirtation. We're in the sea of desperation. But anyway, yeah. So it's hurting him.
There's an agenda behind why you're part of this experiment. I could be wrong, mate, and I'll hold my hands up and say, I'll stand here and I can say I'm wrong.
It's fine, I don't...
But my experience of that is you were here for ill intention. And when it's done at the cost of somebody that I deeply care about, it sits very uncomfortable with me. And
all right, so I think it's going well so far. I don't really see the point in this conversation because what is Sam going to say? Even if it's true, he's not going to say, oh, you caught me. So I don't really see the point of this. And there's no future between Sam and Nicole and Ben. I'm sure Ben, even if Nicole was like, yeah, we can be friends with Sam. I'm sure Ben would say, no, we're not being friends with him. So I don't really see the point in this. But, you know, I think given where Ben is coming from, how convinced he is, I guess he's like, no, there's an injustice here, and I need to speak that injustice.
My piece about how I think you treated Nicole.
Why are you holding this? Like, you're literally, it's like you're trying to nitpick me, find things. What's wrong with Sam?
Yeah.
Do you know why I came on the show? Do you know why I came on the show?
I think I've got a good idea.
Do you?
We walk away from this situation, agree to disagree.
It's upsetting, though, isn't it? It's upsetting.
I had to come out here and say my piece.
Yeah, I'm confused. Either he saw things that were edited out, or he interpreted things in a certain way, or like he said, he has traumas and he's distorting. You know, the things that we saw from my memory of Sam were, you know, on the line kind of, but certainly not to the level where you would just know for sure enough that you would have to even have a conversation with him at this point. So it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I would hate it if the show edited it out in terms of Sam saying something that was more of a slam dunk. But the way that Ben is really leaning into this, and his reactivity, because even if Sam was, I've been over this already, but even if Sam wasn't on legitimately, it's in the past. So what's the goal of this conversation?
And I couldn't shy away from this.
We had an amazing connection in the pods, yeah? And no one will ever take that away from us. And she even admitted it tonight. And I'm afraid, mate, that is the truth of the matter. We had an amazing connection in the pods, and it didn't quite work out in the real world. But you seem to be, like, so hung up about that.
No, I need to come out here and say my
why.
piece. You can listen.
So that's a good question. Sam is actually handling it pretty well. He's stating facts, and they're not unusual, and Ben should understand all that. They got engaged. Nicole said yes. That was based on a connection. So there's nothing strange. Sam isn't saying anything out of turn here. And then he asks, I think kind of legitimately, why are you hung up on this? Because this happens all the time in the show, right? And there's different reactions to it, and Ben's is particular. And Ben doesn't answer that question. He is acting like Sam is interrupting him when Ben is the one monologuing and just assuming. And so it's coming across like Ben wants to just berate him and wants him to just sit there and take it, which is not a good look.
Come out here and say my piece. You can listen.
You keep saying that, mate. You keep saying,
Okay.
am I going to listen? Like,
Okay, well, I'm
listening, mate.
Like I said, we'll agree to disagree.
Does she know what happened when she stayed? Oh, sorry, I'll let you wait till you're finished.
Go on.
So you're aware when she stayed at mine that she wanted to sleep with me and I said no, yeah?
Yeah, well, one, you were doing well, Sam, at least in terms of the being able to walk away from this, saying that you took the high road. Now you're starting to take the low road. It's still a fact. And Sam, if he feels like he needs to defend himself, Nicole didn't refute that, right?
So you're aware when she stayed at mine that she wanted to sleep with me and I said no, yeah? No, like generally, because you've obviously been told one side of the story. So God, you keep talking.
So go on,
I don't need to say my side of the story.
Yeah, it's true, apparently. Nicole didn't refute it and was basically agreeing with it, right? I'm sure it's more complicated than that. And it's not a constructive thing to say, but it doesn't really make the point, though, what Ben is. In fact, it could even bolster Ben's point. It's just like, oh, well, if you didn't sleep with her, then you're not really into her, right? But yeah, I mean, if what was already happening was doing a number on Ben, I'm sure this is going to really stick in his craw. What is a craw, anyway? That's the saying. But yeah, whatever or wherever the craw is, something's stuck in it now.
Because clearly, like you said, you're just going to laugh at everything I say.
Okay, so I don't appreciate that lack of appreciation you have for her or that level of disrespect.
Wait, did I miss something? Was he saying, I don't like the fact that you didn't have sex with her when she asked to have sex? Let's rewind that.
No, like
So-
generally, because you've obviously been told one side of the story. So you're talking.
So go on,
I
okay.
don't need to say my side of the story because clearly,
Mate.
like you said, you're just going to laugh at everything I say.
Okay, so
So-
I don't appreciate that lack of appreciation you have for her or that level of disrespect.
Oh, I think what Ben is saying is, I think you're lying, and therefore you're disrespecting her and you're treating her badly. Or that this is playing into his narrative that Sam was just toying with Nicole as Nicole was fawning after Sam. I don't know. But I don't think this is going to end well for Ben.
That guy's Hollywood.
What does that mean? Hollywood? Is that like drama? Like he's... Because I'm trying to think of what the vibe is that he's getting at. Well, it's good to see one couple doing well. So Ben and Nicole, golly, could not have predicted this. Steven and Sabrina doing well. Bobby and Jasmine seem to be fine, but there's something about them that worries me. Freddie and Kat seem to already be broken up. We haven't seen anything Ollie and Demi. They seem to be doing pretty well. Tom and Maria seem like they're already broken up too.
Oh, I don't care about that.
No? Does it bother you?
Oh man, the whole thing's been crazy. I mean, Maria's amazing, and we're going really, really well, but we've had a few disagreements and stuff, as you would expect. And
Yeah, that's like normal.
so we're not 100% on whether we're gonna say yes. We just don't know at this stage.
Wow. Does every couple fall apart at this party? I mean, I guess I could have predicted that Tom and Freddie and Kat and Maria aren't exactly 100%, but usually it doesn't like completely fall apart. And maybe they're not, but there's been a fair amount of flirting as well with Tom and Tosh, which, okay. And then you wonder if for Tom, I mean, I don't want to accuse him of anything, but maybe he sees in Tosh more someone that fits what he considers to be the class that he's looking for. I don't know. There's no evidence of that.
You look great.
And Ollie's being really PDA-y, and Demi seems to be the one like, okay, that's enough. All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. I want to remind you to please take care of yourself, know your needs, and at least acknowledge them to yourself, if not signal to everyone around you what those needs are so that people can meet those needs and vice versa, because we all deserve it. We really, really do.